Hello from New York City. I'm a little late for my own event, right? As my clients know, I tend to run a little late. However, I was really celebrating with one of my babes in my 6-month coaching experience. Badass bitches empowered. I was celebrating with her because after the scale not budging for a very, very long time, she joined Babes. We did the work that I am having you do in here the last 3 days, my signature healing program, method, whatever you want to call it, right? Healing your past so that you don't carry it into the future. She has done so much work, so much soul work, so much healing has happened. And now she has shed 9 pounds. I get so excited because it's not just even about the weight on the scale, right? You know it's not just about the scale. It's not. And the thing is it's all of the healing that happened, because you want to lose the weight, shed the weight, and have it not come back, right? Because she's been in this cycle, this pattern. So we went back, we found her, I'm going to recap everything we've done. We went back, we found her original trauma. She named the emotions behind the trauma. She released, she forgave organically because she released the emotion, right? And she learned the lesson that she was meant to learn so that weight doesn't come back again. I love it. I absolutely love it. So I am Lisa Czak. Welcome to day 3 of 3 steps how to heal and attract all you want into your life. I have combined everything that I do, basically, okay? So I have combined a half century worth of experience into this new healing method that I do. So I have combined being an addictions counselor, a personal trainer, a mind-body coach, my own personal experience, losing 80 pounds only to gain 40 of it back, poster child, right? And I have developed my signature healing method to get you out of the unhealthy patterns and cycles in your life, such as gaining weight and losing yourself over and over and over again, okay? Or attracting friends that take advantage of you, or having abusive bosses, or being a doormat for other people to wipe their toxicity on. Or perhaps it has more to do with your love relationship, right? Or your marriage that you're in. All of this, unhealthy patterns, unhealthy cycles that you're repeating in your life, okay, have to do with traumatic events that happened in your childhood. I'm not talking about rape and molestation and very serious, severe, right? Yes, that's part of it for some of you. That's not the women that I work with, but more just insidious, right? Did you ever eat lunch alone in the bathroom like I did at school? Did you ever have, my daughter's going through this currently. I can't believe kids are still doing this bullshit where they pretend to be your friend, and it's like, now they have texting, it's even worse, right? So my daughter literally got a text from this boy. Last time she had correspondence with him was in freshman year, and he totally set her up, you know what I mean? They want to be my friend, trying to lure her in, and then she pours her, all of her being into this, and it's just a setup for being whatever, wanting to humiliate her, wanting to shame her. Maybe you experience that. So I help women heal themselves. Once you heal yourself, you will attract everything you want into your life. And the women and babes are wanting to shed weight on their body, right? I also have private clients. I work with other clients. You don't have to have weight to shed on your body, right? But sometimes the weight that you have to shed in your life is not actually on your physical body. And once you shed the weight, the emotional burdens that are holding you back, holding you down, that you've carried in, that you've taken from the past, right? That emotional baggage, the emotional weight, carried it into the future. Once you heal that, the weight just comes off effortlessly and stays off because you've healed from that wound, right? So I have Babes, my signature 6-month coaching experience. Babes stands for, wait for it, Badass Bitches Empowered. And like I said, they're pretty much wanting to shed all the weight in their life and their past so that they can attract what they want, okay? In Babes, we do the healing work that I introduced to you in the last 3 days on a much deeper level and over the course of 6 months, right? As a babe, you will heal your past and attract all you desire into your life, such as a body that you feel so sexy and confident walking around in. You will even want to have sex with the lights on. Imagine that, right? Friends that fuel your soul, that leave you feeling better about yourself after being in their presence. Imagine having friends like that. Maybe you already do. A job that makes you forget, is it Tuesday? This is my life. I'm like, I never know what day it is because I'm no longer waiting for the weekend, right? I'm no longer saying, oh my God, it's only Tuesday, it's only Wednesday. No, because I have a job that doesn't feel like a job. It doesn't feel like work. Maybe you want a relationship, right? A marriage or just a love relationship that has mutual respect, trust, passion through the roof, right? That makes you sing like Julie fucking Andrews, through the hills. The hills are alive with my partner. I don't sing, my daughter sings. I'm not a singer, but I like singing. Or maybe you just want to have that glow, right? Have you ever experienced that? That you're just so happy in life, you're exuding happiness out of every cell of your body. You just have this glow and people want it. Women are like, what are you doing? That's what my babes here. My babes are like, even before they start shedding weight on their body, people will say to them, what are you doing? Like, you look amazing. You look 10 years younger. I have women that I work with that are 75 and their friends get all upset. They're like, what are you doing? Are you using a new skincare? What are you doing? Like, you look younger, you're glowing, right? That is what you get when you join Babes and work with me. The Fountain of Youth. I have been called the Fountain of Youth. When I first moved to New York City, I had all clients that were 70 years and older. And in the building that I was in, people were noticing that the people that they've lived there with for 30 years were looking younger and vibrant. And they're like, what's happening? And so they were joking around in that building, calling me, Lisa is the Fountain of Youth. Lisa's my secret weapon. I have another babe that actually calls me her secret weapon. She actually doesn't want to share me with anyone. She doesn't want to refer me to anyone because she says I am her secret weapon. There's all these, diets and workouts and all this, but she calls me her secret weapon. But she actually said that she's going to give her boss my number. So we'll see how that goes. So when you join Babes, you also get to be in my signature program, Worthy Woman. Okay. I call it my worthiness training for women of all ages. I have teenagers in there up to age 80. Now, I don't care if you're 81, you can join. If you're 91, you can join, right? Doesn't matter your age. I don't see people's ages. So I feel like women not feeling worth it is an epidemic in this country. And it allows, at a very young age, girls to accept and tolerate unacceptable behaviors and people into their life. This is my passion for wanting women to not just know they're worth it, but feel it in every cell in their body, to think like they are worth it, to act like they are worth it, to attract what they are worth into their life. So as a babe in my 6-month coaching experience, you automatically get put into Worthy Woman for free. It's my gift to you, babe, okay? And it's normally a $777 value, okay, to join Worthy Woman. That's the investment. So, okay, let's recap. If you did not watch my lives from 9/28 and 9/29, I highly encourage you to do that, because this is where the magic happens. I'm giving you 3 steps. I gave you step 1 on 9/28, step 2 on 9/29, and today we're doing step 3. But I'm going to recap in case you are watching for the first time today, to sort of plant the seeds into your brain. I'm all about planting seeds into people's brains, okay? So, step number 1, find. You might want to write this down, okay? Otherwise, you're going to have to watch this whole thing all over again. Find the original trauma experience as a child that you carried into the future, creating an unhealthy pattern or cycle in your life, okay? Again, listen to my live on 9/28 for all of the details if you have not, and do the soul work on that. To refresh your memory, traumatic experiences can be anything from being told you were an unwanted baby, an ugly baby, from not having anyone to sit with. Like I said, eating lunch in the bathroom at school, having all the girls like you one day and then be bitches to you the next day, right? Witnessing something in child that no child should ever witness. It could be just a feeling that you had, right? Getting teased by the way you look, the way you talk, the way you act, your beliefs. My daughter is going through this. She's 17. She's a senior in high school. Since she started at her school, they just bullied her for her beliefs. She believes in God. She believes in, like, she's a Christian. She grew up Catholic, and she was bullied for her beliefs. So maybe you're bullied for that also, right? So that's what you're finding, the original traumatic experience as a child that you carried into your future, which is creating your current cycle or pattern that you are in. Step number 2 is release. Release it. The emotion attached to this traumatic event. Emotions are shame, blame, guilt, fear, anger, sadness, hurt, emotion, okay? Watch my live from 9/29 for details and soul work on releasing this, okay? Find the traumatic event, release the emotion attached to it. And that also includes where in your body are you feeling that emotion, okay? You feel it somewhere. When you are being teased in school, maybe you felt a lump in your throat, right? And then you're holding it there. As you get into adulthood, if you feel like someone is berating you or demeaning you, which seems to be common with men nowadays doing this to women, maybe you feel it in your throat as it's being done to you as an adult. So you got to name the emotion, find where in your body it is, and release that bitch. Release it. Give it to God, the universe, the clouds, the trees, whoever you want, right? Just get it out of your body, out of your being. So step number 3 involves the magic. Okay, the magic happens in step number 3. It's not, step number 1 and step number 2 are not fun. It is no fun. It wasn't fun to experience whatever this traumatic event was, back in the day. And now I'm asking you to go back and relive it. That's not fun, but it's necessary. It's crucial to healing. If there was any other way around it, I would have found it. I will tell you, if I find a less painful way, I will have you do it. However, this is the best way. You go back and you revisit that, okay? So the magic that happens after you find the traumatic event and after you release the emotion attached to that event is this step, the third step, breaks that pattern, that cycle that you're in, that cycle of attracting toxic people into your life, that cycle of being taken advantage of in your life, that cycle of gaining weight and losing yourself. Okay, whatever current cycle you're in right now, this is the step that is going to break it and prevent that asshole from coming back in another form. Right? If you don't learn, if you're like in a toxic marriage or relationship and you don't learn the lesson that you were meant to learn, that guy is coming back in a different form. Maybe as your boss, maybe as a friend, maybe it's not like a lover, but he's coming back if you don't learn the lesson. So you learn. Step number 3 is learn the lesson that you are meant to learn from that toxic or unfavorable experience or person, so it doesn't show up in another form, so you don't repeat the pattern, so you break the cycle you are in, so you get off the hamster wheel. You're spinning. No, we're gonna get off that hamster wheel. Okay, this is sometimes hard for people to really digest, and some resistance might come up when you hear me say this, but I really want you to hear what I am going to tell you. It will change your perspective. You ready? Toxic people, toxic experiences, or unfavorable experiences are your greatest spiritual teachers. I'm going to repeat it so you really digest it. Toxic people are your greatest spiritual teachers. Toxic experiences, unfavorable situations are your greatest spiritual teachers. Every single experience in your life happens for you, not to you. That is sometimes hard for people to digest. A lot of, resistance comes up. Your trauma, your unhealed wounds, the ones that I just gave examples for, happened to teach you the spiritual lessons you are meant to learn in this life so you can grow and evolve and be the woman you are meant to be. You feeling me on this? I had a hard time digesting that and accepting that at first, right? I was like, what? You mean those bitches back in the day that were so mean to me and bullied me? I got spit on. You're telling me that girl that spit on me is my greatest spiritual teacher? Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Because there's lessons that need to be learned. Once you learn the lesson that you are meant to learn, it won't come back. It will not come back because you will repel that experience from coming into your being. Okay, does that make sense? So let's recap. Once you find the original trauma or unhealed wound, you're going to name the emotion that's attached to it, release it, and only then can you learn the lesson and understand why it happened. When you are deep in the like when I was literally being spit on, right, in gym class by this girl, that's not the time that I'm learning the lesson. That's not the time, because I'm deep in the emotion of it, right? In the shame of being spit on and being laughed at. That's not the time that I'm going to learn the lesson. It's after that experience, right, as an adult, that I went back to that experience of being spit on in gym class, named the emotion, which was shame. It was shame. I was ashamed. I was being spit on by a girl. Then I released the shame, and then I learned the lesson that I was meant to learn. Once you learn the lesson, you can keep the memory minus the emotion. If you notice, as I am talking about literally being spit on by a girl in gym class, I'm not crying about it. I'm not feeling shame about it. I have released the emotion that was attached to that event and simply have a memory of it. It's no different than if I was reading you my shopping list, right? I'm going to Costco later, I'm buying Tide, and I'm buying Downy fabric sheets, and I'm buying tampons, right? It's no different because I've released it. So when you can look back on a memory and remember the event, the experience, or the person with no emotion attached to it anymore, then you are healed. That's the point. When you are healed is when you will start attracting what you do want into your life and repel what you don't want into your life, which is exactly what happened to me. I talk about portal tears, okay? Portal tears move you out of the emotion attached to the trauma and into a new place. Think of a waterfall. I'm from Buffalo, New York, right? Home of Niagara Falls. Anyone else from Buffalo watching? So think about a waterfall, right? You can't see the other side until you step through. Once you step through is when you can learn the lesson that you are meant to learn. That's where you're the point where you're actually healed. Step 3, what I'm talking about today, learning the lesson, is when you are actually healed. When you actually cried those horribly painful tears where you thought you might die, going back and revisiting whatever this experience was or this person, and you release it, right? You get rid of those tears that do not feel good. Those tears where you think your heart is being ripped out and stomped on and cut up into a million pieces and then thrown back on your chest. Those tears, you gotta do those tears first, then you get to the portal tears, okay? So I'm going to give you an example because people are always like, what do you mean? Like, what's the lesson? What's the lesson? I don't mean like the lesson isn't things like, don't buy a car from someone you don't know. That's not the lesson. I'm talking about spiritual lessons. So one of my biggest spiritual lessons that I learned from my biggest spiritual teacher, meaning he was the most toxic person that has ever entered my life. Thank you, Jesus, for him. I can actually have gratitude, right, for this experience. So one of my biggest spiritual lessons is to trust my intuition, to listen to my voice above all others. Like, I literally know what's best for me. Anytime I do not listen to my intuition, I get fucked, and not in a good way. I know this about myself because I've done this work, this healing, right? So I'm going to give you an example. When I was in high school, there was a friend that I knew, and at a gut level, like my intuition told me that, like, anytime, like, he would say something in a certain way, it was very insidious, right? It wasn't like, you're a fucking bitch. No, it was very insidious and gradual. And he would say something in a certain way, and I would actually feel myself go, anytime you are interacting with someone and you actually stop and go, like, ooh, that didn't feel right. What the fuck was that? Right? Maybe they looked at you a certain way. Maybe they said something that sounded like a compliment, but it was not really, like, passive aggressive. Maybe they're gaslighting you, right? Maybe they're like, I never said that. What are you talking about? Anytime you have that, feeling, that's your intuition. Danger, danger, run, right? Well, I did not listen to that voice, that intuition, because then, like, he would say something, that made me go, that didn't feel right. But then he would be so supportive and so encouraging, and he would make me laugh, and I would sort of forget about the feeling, my intuition, right? Or he would tell me, you're being paranoid. I didn't say that. Or you're just creating drama. Have you ever been told that? You're crazy. You're creating drama. You are paranoid. No, I'm not, bitch. That's my intuition talking to me, saying, run. So back in high school, I did not listen to that, right? I just didn't. I didn't even have the life experience, I feel like, to really understand. No one told me there's an inner voice inside of you that you need to listen to. I ignored it. So then, fast forward, I allowed this person back into my life as an adult, and I kept getting the same feeling, the same, It's like this, I didn't learn what I was meant to learn back in high school. And the intuition, the voice, my voice kept getting louder and louder because he kept doing more and more way unacceptable behaviors to me and speaking to me and just doing things that even at an energetic level, I was thinking, what is wrong with me? Like, why am I allowing this shit into my life? It's like he was reading from the same script that he used in high school and saying I was just paranoid and I was creating drama, right? But the lesson, the reason he came back into my life is so that I could learn this huge lesson that I needed to learn, which was listen to my intuition. Listen when you know things aren't right, when someone is not treating you right, when someone is just looking at you a little. It's very insidious though. Like I said, it's not like, you know, a big flashing neon sign. It was just a gut feeling that I had. And he showed up, went from high school to now, as an opportunity. You see how I flipped that? Here was my opportunity to really learn the lesson of trusting my intuition, and so that I don't have to learn it again, right? So that I don't have to learn it again. I didn't learn the lesson the first time. So to heal from this whole thing, step one, I had to find the trauma, the original trauma, which actually wasn't him. He wasn't the original trauma, even though it happened back in high school. The original trauma happened when I was much younger, and girls would pretend like to be my friend. And then next thing I know, I'm getting fucking spit on. Like literally spit on. He was spitting on me also. But I didn't listen to my intuition when I was a child. Like I said, I didn't even know. How would I know, right? I thought I was really shy and I didn't have a lot of friends. So if anybody showed me any attention, even if it was negative attention, I was like, yay, they like me. I have a friend. Even though inside, like I had that same feeling that, ooh, that, I don't know. I don't think so. This person is probably not a good plan for me. Okay, so then step two, I released the emotion attached to it, right? Like I said, when I was in that moment and girls are pretending to like me and be my friend and, hey, meet us after school, right? And then I meet them after school and I get spit on and laughed at. It's a setup, right? So there was emotions attached to that of shame, blame, guilt, fear, right? And I feel that way down low in my pelvis. You know, when you're on a roller coaster and the roller coaster drops, or you're on an elevator. Have you ever had that and the elevator drops? That's where I was feeling all of that emotion. And that's what came back when this toxic person from high school who was treating me, what is this? This doesn't feel right. When he came back into my life as an adult, every time he would say or do certain things, I felt that roller coaster drop low in my pelvis. But I had to go back and heal the original trauma, which actually happened, like I told you, when I was young, right? And wanting friends and I was being set up. He actually did the same exact thing. He actually turned out to be a sociopath who was actually pretending to be something that he wasn't. So you see how that, like he came back as those girls that did that to me back in the day when I was much younger, because I didn't learn the lesson. You see how it all sort of goes together? So I released all of it along with the experience, and with that organically came forgiving. You cannot force forgiveness, right? You hear all the time, you must forgive that person if you want to heal. Bullshit. Forgiveness happens organically after you find the original trauma and release the emotion that is attached to it. You might have to do this several times, by the way. It's not usually a one and done kind of thing, which is why my babes is 6 months long, and we keep doing it as often as we need to until they are healed, right? So I forgave the experience. I forgave those girls back who did that to me. I forgave the sociopath for what he did. All of it happened for me. You see how I can say that now? All of it happened for me so that I never ever lose my intuition again. So that I never have anyone's voice be louder than my fucking inner voice. Never again. I still get that feeling, by the way. It's not like I say I've become a toxicity repellent, meaning toxic people don't even try. Can you see this, what's around me? It's like I have like things around me and they're like, ooh, no, we can't do that. Oh, yeah, they still try, but I feel that feeling right away, like low in my pelvis. I'll feel this, and I'm like, bye bitches, this is not my jam anymore. This is not my vibe anymore. I protect my vibe, I protect my intuition, I protect my voice like it's my only child. I have one daughter. I protect my inner voice as though I'm protecting her. I'm a mama bear to my 17-year-old daughter still. I always will be. And I'm now mama bear to my own voice, my own intuition, okay? So some other lesson, I want to tell you a huge lesson. So this is another lesson. I'm giving you examples of lessons so that you understand where I'm going with this, that you need to learn the lesson that you're meant to learn from the traumatic event. The other huge, I actually just learned this because I am still go through healing process myself, right? I don't just say, oh, I'm healed, that's it. No, I'm always checking in. Am I healed? What's going on? So I always thought I was shy as a kid. Everyone told me I was shy, right? Like I didn't have friends. I was afraid to speak up for myself. I just thought I was shy. And then I did the same healing work that I have my babes do, that I have my personal clients do. And I was like, holy shit, I was never shy. I was never shy. I've always been this. What you see right now, I've always been this. I was simply suppressing my true self. I was afraid to be me. I heard things like, shh, tone it down. People are looking. Don't get so excited. Don't get so riled up. I was never shy. I was suppressing who I am. It took me 40 years, right, to realize this. Now I'm full on me, right? Full on, unapologetically, Lisa fucking Czak. I do not shrink for anyone, right? I don't do any of those things that I did the first 40 years of my life, which is why in Worthy Woman, I have such a passion working with girls who are younger to teach them this. Be you, full on. That's who God wants you to be. You're not meant to be anyone else in this world but you. You alone are a gift to this world and who you are. There's a reason we're not all alike. There's a reason for that. This world would be very boring. If everyone was like me, this world would be super boring, right? You wouldn't be learning anything. I wouldn't be learning from you. I learned just as much from my babes, from my private clients, from the women that I speak to, women in groups. You know, I do speaking engagements. I learn from them also. And I love it. It's like one of my favorite parts of my job is when I learn from you. So now that I've healed from these traumas, I attract people who are aligned with me, right? When you are full on in all your power and your high beams are shining bright, you will blind those who are not aligned with you. I'm not even saying that they're toxic. They might not even be toxic people, but they might be toxic to you specifically because they're not aligned with you. Or God knows that you'll shrink in their presence, or you won't listen to your intuition, right? I have literally become a toxicity repellent. And that's what my babes become in my 6-month program and my private women. A toxicity repellent, so that you're only calling in people who are aligned with you, with how you believe, people who can't get enough of you, who bask in your energy and your glow, who want you to be you. And I teach this to babes over the course of 6 months, and I help them navigate it, because what happens is you do all this work and then the universe sends you, I call them gifts. Now, they're not gifts that are wrapped up in a pretty package with a shiny bow on top. No, they are gifts that come in form of triggers. Triggers are reminders of that original traumatic experience, and all those emotions start coming back, right? You need time to be able to, first of all, when you first recognize it as a trigger, it's a very exciting day. You're like, I know what this is. This is a gift that God is sending me, so that to make sure I really did learn the lesson that I need to learn, so that I don't repeat it, right? And it's what you do with those triggers. And I teach you how to respond, not react. And pretty soon, you won't even get triggered anymore, right? Like if I have someone that tells me to tone it down or what, I just sort of laugh, because I'm like, they're not aligned with me. It doesn't matter, right? They're not on my radar. It doesn't matter. So you need time to be triggered and be tested to make sure that you learn the lessons. The only way to know if you're healed, this is why it's a gift. If you're wondering, like, what is she talking about? A trigger is a gift, a toxic person is a gift. Yes, the only way to know if you are truly healed and the emotion is removed from the original traumatic event is to be triggered and see if you react emotionally. That's the key, okay? So that is what I will help you with in Babes. Your babe, badass bitches empowered, your fellow babes are going through the same journey. And so it's a very safe environment that I provide for you so that you can truly heal and deal with stuff as it comes up. So babes, the investment for babes is going up tomorrow, which is October 1st. That is my baby's 18th birthday. I've been dreading this day since I conceived her. Any other moms of teenagers in here, of 18-year-olds specifically, post in comments and let me know if you also felt a little bittersweet on their 18th birthday. So anyway, your investment for babes right now, if you sign up right now, is $2,000 for all 6 months. And that includes being able to have one-on-one time with me via Voxer. Voxer is a texting app. And so if you're in the middle of a trigger, right? You're in a family event and you're being triggered and emotions are going off, then you can Voxer me one-on-one and I'll help you work through that in the moment. So it's $2,000 for 6 months, including Voxer. And remember, you get to be automatically and worthy woman for free, which is a $777 value. When you invest in full in Babes, you get $200 off. That's my gift to you for investing in yourself. Really, you're investing in yourself is what you're doing. Okay. You also have the option if you want to invest a monthly amount. It's $333 for 6 months. And all of that, though, is going up starting tomorrow. So you need to act on it today. Take action. The only thing worse than staying stuck where you are for 40 years is staying stuck where you are for 40 years and 1 second longer. Okay? Thank you so much for watching this, for sending a message to the universe that you are worth it. You gave me and yourself actually an even bigger investment just by watching this, because you gave your time Money comes and goes, but time just goes. So celebrate the fact that you took the time to watch this today. And I hope you're going to watch, if you haven't already, the 928 and 929 live that I did to talk about step 1 and step 2. Celebrate that you did the soul work, or you're going to do the soul work. Celebrate every step along your journey. Our life is comprised of a starting date, a dash, and a final date. It's the dash that counts the most. Make the most of the dash. I can't wait to see you in Babes. I love you. Mwah.